Hello and welcome back to the pascom training series. The topic for today is action and action conditions. If you've watched our video series till now, you'll notice that we've done teams, we've done actions and so on and so on. And now we're going to take it further in terms of making your call distribution little bit more professional and enhancing the caller experience. Matthias, what can we do in terms of action conditions?
So for now we have just introduced the actions.
Yeah.
So what is an action? I can say I make a prompt, start the voicemail box, make a redirection, whatever. But now with conditions I can say I don't want this just every time, I want this in some conditions.
Yeah, so you can differentiate between like times of day or days of week or whatever.
The classic example is the office hours.
Yeah, the business only hours.
So something like this. And we can use these conditions. And let's see which conditions we got.
Okay.
And understand how to...
So let's dive straight in there and have a look.
Yes. We have action conditions here. And you can just add one. We have time period, extension switch, a calendar, and asterisk extensions. Or expressions. Sorry. What's the difference between those? So time period is the most used. It's just a point in time or a time scheme somehow, like your office hours or something. This is the most used. Then there is an extension switch. The extension switch is something you can just call and it switches from true to false.
Okay.
So that's very handy. For instance, if you have a team meeting, you can just call this and it changes the behavior of your call flow. That's really handy. And then the calendar, that's straightforward.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. It's a calendar which you can use to add, for example, public holidays or company holidays or whatever you may need.
And here is the asterisk expression. It's really special. You can read from the asterisk database which we're using and you can do some fancy things there, but it's complicated.
It's very special. And if you need information about it, watch our asterisk series.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We start with the time period and I call it business hours.
We've done this a few times.
Yes, you see the browser knows all. It's so easy that even the browser can configure the system. So add, let's say 1. And then we have weekdays from Monday to Friday.
It's important to note here, you don't have to fill out everything because the star is basically generic, means whatever. And in a time period, generally, I mean, you could go really specific and say day from first of the month to the second, to the last of the month, but you don't need to do that. You just need to define the week in most cases.
Yes, so you could go special, but no. Here we have some very, very relaxed business hours. Let's do it like this.
And this is also a very long list, and thankfully you can just type.
Yeah. That's easy. And you can, I just make the most common example with a lunch break, but you could have the weirdest.
You could go very weird with whatever fancy times you want to have and all this kind of stuff. But no, we're doing nice and simple, morning and afternoon.
That's it. Then we add another one, and we say holiday.
Something like that.
And then
25th of December, Christmas, everyone's on holiday. Most people anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas in the UK is 25th, but 24th, 25th is good.
It's good?
Uh-huh.
Save. So that's it. For sure we have to apply, and now we have configured our conditions. Conditions can be much more, up to labels which we can use. You can have, this is a VIP customer.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, that's much more advanced. We can go into that in more details in another tutorial.
But just to give you an idea that that a lot of things can be conditions, that you can really have a flexible call flow.
But now we've got our conditions. What's the next step? What do we have to do?
Use them. So it's not just enough to define them once, use them somewhere. You can use them almost everywhere where you have an object which can get a call. But here I have the team. And here I have internal before, and here I say PC welcome in any case. That's not so good. I want to say PC welcome in the case of
business hours.
Business hours. Here, and now I'm done. but that's not very good because now inside the business hours I get the prompt. Outside the business hours I get
nothing.
Nothing. That's bad. So I make another announcement and I say business hours negated. That's automatically done, so you don't have to define the opposite of your business hours. And you can have another prompt, PC closed.
It basically says, thanks so much for calling, go away.
Yes. Now we could think that's good. But what it does now is it says hello to you inside of the business hours, and outside of the business hours it says go away, and then it just calls the team.
It doesn't actually do anything apart from call the team, and if there's no one there, like in what we've talked about previously, it will just carry on calling until the loop is detected and thrown away.
Yes. So that's bad, and what you have to keep in mind is if I want to hang up.
Yeah.
How can I do this? I can say hang up, and outside of the business hours with a busy sign. Now it really works. And it's even like this if you use a voicemail box. Somebody could wait through the timeout of the voicemail box and then he comes into it.
And depending on the settings of the voicemail box, that could be like 10 minutes or whatever.
Yes. Or you can, I think, use the hash key and then go out of the voicemail box or whatever. If you want to hang up, hang up. And as you can see, we go through the lines. If you go back to the screen, please, we can go through the lines. We say inside of the business hours, welcome. Outside, we say closed and we say busy. You can change the ordering of the lines. That's important because it could be changed for some reasons.
We set up a holiday.
Yes.
Now, holiday, I would assume, is more globally important than
Yes.
time. So would that be the first that you put in?
Yes, it would be the first. So if you edit, it will be the last, and then you have to put it up, and then it's the first. So that's a very important with this holiday, because otherwise the user experience would be very bad. It would be like, hey, if it's inside the business hours, it would say, hey, welcome, blah, we're so glad that you are calling, and then it would say, and
We're on holiday. Thanks so much. Goodbye.
Yeah,
No.
that's not very good.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, by the way, yes. If you use this on top of the list.
Okay,
better.
so that's very important to note that it goes from top to bottom in terms of priority handling. So that is definitely worth noting there.
Yes, and you can not only use this in front, for sure you can also use this after. So you can have also here conditions. So if you check them already before, then maybe it makes no sense to check them after because it's already clarified.
It sort of depends on the object that you're working on at the time.
But you can have another condition. You can now say if it is a VIP caller, then redirect to the VIP team. If not, say out of business.
Exactly. So a VIP caller could, in theory, have, for example, they've got a different SLR to a normal customer, and they can then be pushed through to the SLR 2 VIP queue or whatever, where it's a longer longer support times or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So you can go crazy with those conditions. But this is the basic concept, and that's what you basically have to understand. And if you want to keep something in mind, then that we have an order. It goes from top to bottom every time with this condition and those rules. And if you want to hang up.
Hang up. Right. Good. That's some very good tips there. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any more questions or you would like to have this explained in a bit more detail, not on the so quickly on the fly, join our boot camps every Thursday. And also, of course, go through our documentation, which you should be by now well and truly accustomed to where to find it. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time. Goodbye.
See ya.